far? Did we go too far? This way. Oh shit, no! No. Oh, that's so stupid, bro. We're wasting time. There's so many. I feel a scorpion there. Oh, my back. So a wonderful fit check for Nancy. Just pants, my jacket, carry my snowboard for me. Alright. Woohoo! Look at that! Freshy snow. Alright, we're gonna go to Guthega. Controlling technique.
This is our last day at Perisher, and yes, while it did snow a little overnight and it was snowing throughout the day, we got really wet. I think it might have been about 15 centimeters overnight, which is definitely not enough to combat the melting that we had over the last 4 days with 8 to 10 degrees weather forecast. That's Celsius in Australia. And because it was still really icy underneath all that fresh stuff. Today was also really cold because it was windy, so it was a little bit of letdown because it wasn't the best conditions, but we try and make the most of it.
It's not that deep though.
So sit back and follow along for another 4 little mini adventures that we go along. Okay, given the wind is so bad, I will do some spontaneous voiceovers. For the upper half of Guthega, it was really bad visibility, so this is pretty much the view the whole time. This trail was fun. It was a bit hard to see and it was still a bit icy underneath like the fresh snow, so I feel like it was actually quite hard to do, and I definitely didn't want to fall here. I realised I needed to wipe my camera once I got off the chairlift, and maybe once while I was boarding, because I feel like it was just a build up of kind of the wet air, and so that kind of stuck to the lens, and when I went down it was a lot clearer, but you can just see that there's just probably some fogginess up over the lens which makes it unclear. This was good, but I thought I could try and do better, so next time up I'm going to be finding my own trail.
Show me your best hit. I know I secretly bully you too much, right?
Someone wants a knuckle sandwich today. Someone's hungry.
Scouting.
Yeah, trying to find sections that aren't tough.
Here we go. This was really fun, and I'm so surprised no one followed me. I'm only sharing this with you guys. It was just fast. I thought I had the best path. I was just going off instinct. I can't remember all the trails here, so I don't really know where I was going, but I love going through trees and obstacles, so I gravitated towards here, and this is where I end up.
Go down that way.
Flat. People who followed me suffered. Tiago fell into a sinkhole. I think it collapsed under him as he went over. And so I'm trying to man this hole, make sure no one else falls into it, because it just happens so randomly. I actually don't know why it happens. I'm sure there's some scientific explanation, but it was quite funny to see. Let's find some freshies. We can find some. We found some, but it's slow and it wasn't a great place. This place was good. It was soft, it was steep. I think it's just not so choppy, and in general there's a lot more coverage along here, so it stayed pretty soft and quick. I am now leading the pack. I decided we'll go left when we go out of Guthega off the chairlifts, and then find this awesome looking path that no one's gone down. Looks like Powderland. And I get stuck at a dead end, which is normally the case for me. I seem to like to find these dead ends and where I need to go under the trees, but this time this was a bit too low for me to actually limbo under. So here we are crawling underneath, and then all is good, power's still good, still relatively untouched, and then we hit a lot of dirt paths. I think there's just not enough coverage over here. The chairlift on the right was closed, we couldn't go down that path, which is normally where I would have liked to go. So we go down a very sketch dirt pathway all the way through to a T-bar that takes us right back up. And I think everyone who needed to use the T-bar eventually made it up anyway. No issues, no dramas there, and we find a really nice powder stash up at the top and end up coming down that. So that was a great discovery. Was it worth the effort? Maybe not so much. It was a good adventure. At this point I think I'm feeling pretty hungry and pretty tired too, so I think I'm gonna call it and decide to go to lunch instead of exploring this side of town. I think if it was better weather and it wasn't so cold and windy, then I would have probably done it again just for the sake of experiencing, you know, that powder. But I think all in all, given the conditions, it was just not quite worth it for me.
That's it there.
So while it seems like we're always chasing powder, I think it's time to say that I would love to go on a backcountry tour where there is just going to be untouched powder all the way through. The only thing deterring me is the gear that you got to get and the training you got to get, and it kind of just freaks me out a little bit. So what's an actual good in between? Japan pal.
I know, it's so short, right? Yeah, but that's it.
Your last descent on just up.
It was all over. Like, well, look.
You want to do that T-bar? No, you want to go eat?
I'll eat.
Want to go hungry?
Yeah, I want to do tea. You want to do it? I'll do it with you.
Let's go. We'll go. You hungry? Yeah. Hey, we'll see you guys later.
This is the epic hot chocolate, and I've got the paisley in it. Whoa.
So this was a closed run. I actually can't remember the name of it. We saw it on our way up from the chairlift and we were just like, see, you can see it runs underneath the chairlift. We just thought, oh, this looks so awesome. And then as we got up, we could see the closed sign. But clearly, I am not a rebel at all and I would just not go down this path. Because of peer pressure, here I am. It was a good run, but it just took us a while because we just ended up hitting some flat surfaces, and then the guys went off without us while I was waiting for our other girls to, you know, make it back up. And so by the time we made it through, they were gone and we didn't really know where they went. There's a guy in red who was like wearing the same jacket as Vince, and so we thought that was him, but in the end it ended up being the wrong person and he was not at that chairlift that we ended up making it down through. So we had to go back up again, and we didn't go through it the second time. This run would have been really fun if we did it the second time and we kind of knew where we were going, because it felt like there was a lot of navigating, and because there were a lot of exposed rocks, I just don't think it was too safe to kind of gun through it at this point.
Oh no. Oh, it's not a good idea to like. Me too.
As we made it through, this was actually quite fun actually. It was very narrow, required a lot of technical skills, it's quite steep as well. I think it was, if it had better coverage, I think this would have been a really, really fun run. Yeah, so I think we took a bit too long to make it down, and so as we navigated our way towards the end, There was a ski patrol who was waiting for us, and you will see him on the left side of the screen. And I think because I went down quicker,
This is a weird
I ended up avoiding him kind of telling me off, but apparently he had told Kim and Nancy off, who were behind me, and I assume that they just went a little bit too slow to give him the opportunity to do that. I think he just said, oh, did you know that this run is closed?
Oh yeah, that way. This is a grassy bit. This way, it's right.
There, the guy in red, can you see him? He's a ski patrol. He's waiting to tell me off. Bye!
Did I go down the wrong way? Where did it go? Oh shit, is that not Vince? No. That's not Vince. That's not Vince. Oh fuck. Down here. You go.
No, you go here.
Okay. There you go, I'll push you.
Oh, okay.
So actually, since we got lost, we tried to make
you're
our way
gonna go.
back down. And then by the time we made it to where we were supposed to meet the guys, one of their binding straps came off as well, so they needed to go get it fixed. And then by the time we met up with them, it was probably time to go. It was getting late. We weren't going to make it all the way here and then all the way back home. So we just decided to call it. This is the last few clips of the end of the day. We also randomly saw Kathy on the last run back, and that's that. So that finishes off a really great week at Perisher. The weather was great to start with, didn't end up so great at the end, but I think we were all pretty tired by then. I had this internal monologue on this chairlift, but it was just so windy that I can't even hear. I can't even remember what I recorded in the moment. So, Perisher will be back shortly. In a few weeks' time, we're going to Falls Creek for our last final hurrah. Then it's on to some golf. We'll make our way back the next day for our 7-hour drive back to Melbourne. See you guys. Bye.